Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of off the board. And today I am pulling some inspiration. I was pulling some inspiration from Pinterest, and I'm going to be using the colors in this layout. I might actually use that layout again later in the month for something different, but I really like the layout and I think it's because of the colors. So we'll see if this solves my desire to use those colors or what. But it is also Mix It Up Monday. We are using a sketch from Christine Steele Harden, and this is the sketch that we're using. It's got 3 photos. I also have 3 photos, 1, 2, 3. It is also back to this fun series that MK and I are doing this month, where we are doing Messy Monday again. This we did a series of Mondays over the last year that we called Messy Monday, and it was just about getting messy with your mixed media and then creating a layout with it. But today I'm just doing the background. So I'm going to get my background set up using the sketch from Christine, the off the board pin or Pinterest pin from Off the Board. So Off the Board, if you're not aware, we use Pinterest pins to inspire our layouts, and it usually happens the last Wednesday of every month, but in the month of July it's all month long. So I pulled the pin for my colors, and then it's also Messy Monday because I'm getting messy. I kind of feel like this one might be a little bit messy. I don't know if you see these photos. It's my little guy about a year ago. Actually, I think this was last summer, and he's playing with Oobleck. If you're not sure what that is, it's that non-Newtonian fluid made with cornstarch and water. It feels like a solid when you're just touching it on the tray, but when you pick it up, it acts like it is a liquid. So he was having a good old time, as you can see by the floor. This is also, I think I was doing something with one of his sisters while he was doing this. This is also something that I am very aware is super messy. Thank goodness his parents are super low-key and easygoing. And you know, I do clean up after myself and after him, so I didn't leave it a mess or anything, but the whole process is very messy. So we now do this outside on a tarp, like a canvas tarp, like a painter's tarp. So I can, you know, wait till everything dries and then kind of like scrape all of the stuff off. You could just use like a painter's plastic or something like that and just wad it up and put it in the trash. But they don't recommend you put this down your sink because that does become very solid, like in your sink pipes or whatever, your sewer pipes. But I always get, when I do something like this, I gear myself up for like, oh, it's going to be a messy day and I'm just all in. If I'm not all in, we don't do it. So anyway, obviously I was all in on this day, and we are just documenting that today. So I'm super excited. I'm going to probably go ahead and use the same paper I used last week because I want this to be kind of drippy and wet. So this is Fluid Cold Press Watercolor Paper, 140 pound, 300 GSM, and it is 12 by 12 inches. It is also an easy block, which has 15 sheets that are bound top and bottom. I love it because it's actually pretty good quality watercolor paper. It's not super expensive, but it's also 12 by 12, so that makes my heart happy because that's my favorite format to work in. Not necessarily for watercoloring because I am not great at watercoloring, but I love it for scrapbooking, so that's what I'm doing. So I am going to pull out my swatch book here and see what I'm going to use. I do know that I want some green and some blue. I kind of feel like I want to go to my sprays, but I'm kind of feeling like I want to go with the sprays because my sprays are going to be the most liquidy. And one of my favorite color combinations is this one that has dog hair on it. Sorry. It's a Dylusions Fresh Lime. That is one of my favorites, but I love to pair it with the Calypso Teal. I think that's a great color combination, or the vibrant turquoise. It also looks really great paired with the London Blue, because when the two mix, you get something that's closer to one of these turquoisey colors. So that is always a fun combination. So I think I'm going to do the fresh lime and the London Blue in a spray, but I don't think I'm going to spray it. I think I'm going to use like a mop brush, and instead of using the lines from the it looks like washi tape or something across on the sketch, I think I'm going to just paint my lines on and let them drippy down to be kind of like a landing place for my photos. So I'm going to go grab those. All right, so I've got the fresh lime and the London Blue, and I need a brush that can hold a lot of liquid. That is going to be probably this brush, maybe. It's either going to be that or maybe this one. So this is like a number 14 round. This is a number 12, and I do not know the name of that. Maybe, I don't know if it's a mop or not, to be honest with you. That's how well I know watercolor, you guys. Yeah. Oh, actually I have a bigger one right here, but that's a flat brush, so I don't know if I'll use that. I suppose I could. I feel like this is going to be a good one, and this one, because I need one for each color, because I don't want to have to wash all of that pigment off of both brushes. Okay. I also have this one, which is also number 14, but your number 14s are, well, any brushes, they're not exact sizes, specific sizes, because the different brands, it could be a different size. I guess what I'm trying to say is not all brands that are 14 are 14, because this is also 14, but it's quite a bit smaller than either one of these other two. So it's just a difference. This is Master's Touch. This is also Master's Touch, but one is, yeah, they both say Fine Art Studio 14 round. So I don't know what the difference is. It could be the hair, like I think this is just faux squirrel. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Stop and let's move on. Okay. I am going to mark out where my photos belong. Right there. And I did take a peek at the sketch. I looked at it maybe 2 times and said, okay, we're gonna go with it. The key here is, if you know anything about doing some watercolor, which I don't expect anybody really to know anything, but you learn really quickly that once you put the pigment down, you can't erase the lines. So make sure you've got your lines where you want them, or erase them if they're not going to be covered up. So I think that's about, actually I think that's a little too close to the edge. Go a little bit over more, maybe right there. So this is just a loose representation of where these are going to go. Okay. And I do see that there's something right there. Let's see if I can, I don't know what that is, but probably like me touching something else and then touching it. So it's like picked up a little bit of pigment or something. I don't know if that made it any better or worse or anything, but I tried. Okay, so I am going to bring the cat bowl back out. So today we are just doing my background, and then Wednesday it will be What Goes With It Wednesday, and I'm going to pack a kit to take with me to Wyoming to actually work on this layout. These have not been used in a really long time. They don't have any shimmer or anything in them, but I do feel like I need to shake them a little bit. think I'm gonna let the green drip into the blue. I don't know. It could all go horribly wrong, and that is okay. And I think I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use these two. And let me move that out of the way a little bit so there's no shadows. I feel like a line and a line, but I kind of want them to be kind of fat lines, if that makes any sense. I think I'm going to do the green with this, although I do see that that's not going to work very well in my interest. That could work. Okay. Let's just go back over to the other round brush. I thought this would work, but I see that it's not going to go in there. This brush has like some sizing or something in it that holds it. I don't know what that's called, but it makes it really stiff, because I have used this brush before. This is like a Princeton Neptune brush. It's, I don't know if anybody's familiar with brushes. It's a good one. I like it. I think both of these you can just get at like Hobby Lobby or something. I don't know about Michael's. I haven't been in a Michael's in quite some time, to be honest with you. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the blue first at the bottom, because if I go with the green first and it's dripped, I don't want to smear it. So let's do our blue first in all 3 spots. Hopefully this has a lot of pigment in it, and my brush is very, very wet. Okay. I'm gonna go one more time across there. And, are we gonna drip? I don't want it to drip as one big line. Something that you can do, let's see here, is you can actually encourage it. And I don't know how far I want it to drip down. Okay. We've given it a bit of encouragement. I might do some more over there. Actually, let's do that, because this is gonna look funny. Okay. Too much encouragement, you guys. And too much water. I don't really want it to bloom, and the bloom is like where it gets those lines, but it is what it is. I mean, it's going to get the other color in it. Is this the one I used? No, I can't remember which brush I used for what, so that's fantastic, you guys. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting lots of little splatter. I would be talking, but I was holding my other brush in my mouth. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's go over and do a line here. And let's encourage those. Okay. Go back in and do that line. Okay. And then I would set that down, but it's dripped all over. And then we're going to do this one. And that one's going to also have, oh, look at that. I encouraged it a little unintentionally. Oh my goodness. I'm in a hot mess, you guys. Okay. All right, well, that was fun. And messy. Fun and messy. Okay. think I'm pretty good on blue. I'm not going to even wash my blue brush yet. This one's already nice and wet. I will, let's clean out this water here a little bit. Okay. That normally just drain, like, I don't have to press on the bottle usually, it just drains, but because I'm encouraging it to go faster. Okay, let's see how this does. Ooh, I am kind of really loving the way that they are mixing, and look, it's gonna encourage itself because those are still wet. Oh, I love it. And then this one actually holds a lot of water. This is a juicy brush, which I kind of love. And I love that we're mixing into our drips here. This one could go into that drip just a bit more and that would make me super happy. But this one's the driest because it was done first, so it doesn't really want to move as well as the other ones. Okay, let's see if I can tap it down. Okay, tap it down, tap it down. Okay. I'm liking that. I am gonna do splatter. I'm just trying to decide if I need something around the outside, and if I do, should I do it with watercolor or should I do it with paper? Maybe I'll just pick up some of this and some of this and get some teal going. Look at that, lots of that blue on there. Let's get some more of this teal going. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just having fun. This is part of why it's Messy Monday. Ooh, that's kind of fun too. Okay, I think 3 strips of that green is nice. I kind of don't really want my end of my brush mark to have that point on it. This brush is very pointy, even though it holds a lot of water. I'm not fond of that part of it. It's great for certain things, just not for this. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that, and then I'm going to just splatter. And to do that, because my brush is not super wet anymore, because I just put all of that on there, I just spray into my brush like that. You know, that's like a that's a homemade technique, I guess. I don't know. But I'm going to splatter some apparently green, because that's what I have made, to my little areas here. And I do know in the sketch there was like a splotch and some lines, and the lines to me look like washi tape. You know, here's the other thing I should check. I should check to make sure that I made these areas big enough. I feel like this one down here needs to be a little bit bigger, so let's go a little wider on that. And then I'll go, I don't know if I can do this because it's already mixed. I think I'm gonna leave that alone. I would have tried to do something about that, but I feel like I'm gonna make a big mess if I do, because it's already bled and I don't want to mess around with that. But I could make this other one, this is blue. Which one's green? Oh, this one could be just a little wider. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. I've got lots of green splatter. Ooh, lots of green. You can tell this brush likes to hold water, and if you hit it hard enough, you get a nice straight line. Okay, and then let's do some blue. do like it hitting the other piece. It's probably going to be all over my photos that are sitting at the top of my table, but that's okay. The one awesome thing about the photos, I'm trying to make some teal right here. The photos that I am using, they're printed on my selfie printer. And the best thing about that printer is they're super durable. Like, they can get wet. It doesn't matter. So none of this is really going to hurt it, even though it's all over me. It's all over my page. It's not going to matter. You can easily wipe them off. You can even get them wet. Like, that's my photo. And you can even just like put it in the water and wipe it off and it'll be fine. They're super durable. And I use them when I do the kids' photos because the Post-its don't leave any leftover adhesive, I guess. They don't leave any like film. On most of my other stuff, like the ones that I use on the Epson, I do have an Epson PictureMate that I use for like my photos or people who I know don't mind being on camera. But the other ones I don't, because the Epson ones I can't use the Post-its on it because it leaves a big residue all over. And so that's one thing I do love about the selfie, in case you did not know that. Today, because I feel like I haven't been on as long as yesterday's or last week's, I am just going to make some beautiful background papers here out of this hot mess of pigment that I've got going on here. I love that, and I love the green right there, so you know what? Let's just add a little bit more of that to it. I don't want to mix it all up too much. I just want to get it a little bit wet. And we'll throw some of this water down. It's going to mix nicely with it. And we'll do a couple of these. Let it sit there for a minute and really soak in. Ooh, that's pretty too. This is what I usually do to clean up my mixed media because I think it's so cool. You can get some really cool effects out of this. And then, especially greens, I feel like you can just make foliage all day long. Okay, I'm gonna let that one dry for a second. I'm gonna add another layer to this just to give it a little more pigment. And then I think I'm gonna call it done for today. That's going to be my Messy Monday and my mixed media mayhem. Hopefully Tara lets that fly because that is what I've got for you. I'll be back on Wednesday to do another video packing my kit for Wyoming using products that I'm going to use on this layout besides my messy background and my photos. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Bye.